Welcome to the deep dive. Our source material today is truly exceptional. We've been handed this whole compilation of insights known as the Ascension Messages.
Delivered by a non-physical guide, Wilhelm, channeled through Roger Burnley.
Exactly. But here's the really unique part. We're only looking at the messages dated February 19th, but they span 34 years.
All the way from 1989 up to 2023. It's like this decades-long conversation, but with a really consistent core philosophy.
So our mission today is to filter all of that and, well, distill the practical operating instructions they claim are in there.
Yeah, for personal evolution, for collective evolution, it's about taking this sometimes esoteric language and turning it into actionable steps.
Things like innate power, conscious creation, all of that. We're looking for what you can actually do with this.
And if you take the source at its word, accepting these core ideas, especially around self-worth, it will change your life and the world.
Before we really get into it, though, for anyone who might not be familiar, what do we mean by ascension messages?
It's essentially guidance. Guidance centered on this idea that humanity is collectively moving toward a higher state of consciousness.
Yeah.
An ascension.
Okay.
And these messages, like a lot of these philosophies, they insist that the only thing really slowing that process down is our own individual resistance.
Fueled by doubt and not accepting ourselves.
Exactly. So these messages are meant to be direct tools to remove those blocks and help you, the listener, recognize your own power.
Okay, let's unpack that first big concept then. Innate power. The 1989 message starts with this really profound paradox.
That everyone has this immense, almost limitless power, but we spend our lives actively, holding it back.
So why do we do that?
Well, Wilhelm points to a very specific fear. It's the worry that if we really tap into that power, we'll use it in an ego-oriented way.
To the detriment of others, the fear that we'll become selfish.
Right. But the argument is that the truth is precisely the reverse. They say the more true power you gain, the more generously you just give it away.
Because true power is benevolent.
Inherently benevolent. So the restriction comes from a complete misunderstanding of what power even is.
So that fear, the fear of being a jerk, is actually what keeps us small. And the source says that suppressing that inner knowing, it creates a real disturbance.
It does. That same 1989 message suggests that when you feel that hostility or that sudden unexpected anger, it's not usually about the person in front of you.
It's not external.
No, it's the sound of your own inner frustration. It's the friction of knowing your power on one level, but actively clamping down on it. It's like a warning siren.
It's an internal battle. And the 2022 message just calls that out so clearly. You never win because there was never a fight. The only battle was within.
There it is. The only barrier to our advancement as individuals or as a whole is just buying into beliefs of inadequacy or inferiority.
The self-imposed limitations, they're the real enemy.
Absolutely.
So if we're creating this friction ourselves, we need a way to reclaim that power. The instruction from 2019 is, well, it's straightforward, but it sounds really challenging.
It does. It says to actively look for people, events, situations from your past.
Yeah.
And forgive them, even thank them.
Okay, that's where the tension is, isn't it? I mean, you can hear someone thinking, but what if what happened was truly awful? Are they suggesting I just let it go?
Am I supposed to thank someone for victimizing me? It's a huge question.
Yeah, it almost sounds like spiritual bypassing, like ignoring real harm.
But you have to understand the mechanism behind it. Wilhelm isn't asking you to condone the action.
Okay.
The point is, if you continue to believe that past people or circumstances were fundamentally against you, you are, without even knowing it, giving your power away to them.
You're letting them control your present.
You're giving them permanent control over your emotional state. So by forgiving and even thanking them for the role they played, you're performing this act of radical ownership. You're taking back the story.
You're retrieving the power you handed over. That's the whole point.
That's it. It's all about reclaiming your agency.
And reclaiming that agency, that power, it brings you right to the only place you can actually use it. The present moment.
The now.
Yeah, we see this idea over and over, especially in 2012 and 2023. The quote is simple: the present is your gift.
Because the present moment of now is the only place anything can actually be created. It's where you possess the ability to do, be, have, and create anything you desire.
And the beauty of that focus is that it just vaporizes all the excuses.
All the otherwise valid excuses, as they put it. Because those excuses are always rooted in the past or some fear of the future.
Exactly. Procrastination, that feeling of being stuck, is just a failure to operate in the present. If you're dwelling on regret or what you haven't done.
You're starving yourself of the very energy you need for the next step.
You're always creating something as long as you're conscious. The shift is just doing it consciously. That's the job from the 2013 message.
Right. Seeking ideas and goals that are beyond what you already know. That's what they mean by expansion.
And here's where it gets really interesting on the creation side. The instruction is that it's not up to you to know how it'll happen.
Which is where we all get stuck.
Right. We can't see the 5 steps, so we just abandon the goal. But the instruction is just to allow yourself to capture the vision. That's it.
It's an exercise in trust. And that ties so perfectly into the 2015 message about patience as a goal.
We usually think of patience as this passive thing, like waiting.
Yeah, but by making it an active goal, you change its whole function. First, it affirms that everything is working out for your highest good.
And second, it develops this powerful internal faith. It replaces doubt.
And third, it forces you to live deliberately in the now. But the fourth point is the most profound for me.
Tell me.
Holding patience as a goal makes you aware of how the whole concept of linear time, the clock, the calendar, is what actually pulls you out of a state of peace.
Oh, that's good. Can you give an example?
Sure, if you're stuck in traffic, you're not upset because of the red light itself. You're upset because of a linear idea that says you should be 5 miles down the road by now.
The clock is the problem, not the traffic.
Exactly. But if patience is your goal, the traffic jam is irrelevant. You're already succeeding at your goal by just being peaceful in the present moment. That simple shift is the whole mechanism.
But what about the setbacks? I mean, if we're masters of creation, living in the now, why do hard things even happen?
That's the question, right? The 2009 message really flips the script on this. It says, every single event, every situation, it's there to help you accept the true nature of your being.
So the difficult stuff isn't a mistake.
It's the opposite. The most challenging circumstances are great opportunities to advance your own expansion and self-awareness. They're not obstacles.
They're custom-built training sessions.
That's a great way to put it.
It requires such a radical reframing. I love the metaphor from 2018. Is like, imagine being born with a vision and knowing ahead of time the road would be bumpy and really uncomfortable.
And you chose it anyway.
You chose to embrace it all because the challenge itself was part of the original intention. So when you get to those uncomfortable places and you stay open to how they're leading you to the destination, you know you're close.
You stop fighting the process. And that changes how we see failure completely. The 2017 message says, mistakes aren't failures at all.
They're just subjective experiences, things that didn't give you the result you wanted.
They're just data points, not an indictment of your worth.
Right. They give you wisdom, experience, and a chance to make a new choice, to regain that sense of self-control you felt you lost when you made the mistake.
They're just course corrections. And this all links back to the idea of timing from 2010.
Everything always happens at the right time.
Which is so hard to accept sometimes. And the reason it's hard is judgment. And judgment is always based only on the past.
We judge the present against old standards. But for real advancement, you need new awareness, new experience.
So the advice is to hold a hindsight perspective, but in the now experience.
So look at your current situation with the wisdom you know you'll have 5 years from now.
Exactly. That just dissolves the fear and judgment of the present moment. And this all feeds right into the drive for continuous expansion from 2014.
Encourage setting standards higher.
Relentlessly. Because avoiding setting high standards is just a game we play with ourselves to avoid the risk of not hitting them.
And the message says true courage isn't hitting the goal instantly. It's deliberately setting those higher standards and actually enjoying the journey toward them.
Regardless of what you think of as success along the way.
Okay, let's see how this all works in practice. And the messages actually use Roger Burnley, the channel himself, as a case study.
Yeah, his own struggles with belief are often used to illustrate the path.
The 2008 message says that just acknowledging what you've already done is vital for building up your storehouse of creativity and confidence.
And you can see Roger's resistance so clearly in the 2020 message on success. The idea is that success is inevitable if you just do it.
But he resists.
For years, he resisted creating a training program because he doubted he could do it exactly the way he envisioned it.
The message is blunt. The only reason goals aren't accomplished is a lack of belief.
That lack of belief is why I love this story from 2021 about his vaccine appointment. It's kind of a long one, but it's perfect.
Let's hear it.
So Roger accepts the appointment, but he's inwardly frustrated, worried he'll be late for a client. When he gets there, someone immediately comes up and asks him to go first and be interviewed by local TV stations.
And Roger, who's just focused on his immediate problem, the client, says yes right away.
But because he wants to be on TV?
No, because going first guaranteed he would not be late. It's this hilarious example of the universe using his smallest, most immediate concern to set up a much bigger plan.
And during the interview, the message says Wilhelm sneaks in and tells the truth when Roger does not get in the way.
So what do you say?
Roger said he wasn't worried about himself or fear of the virus, but he accepted the vaccine because he simply didn't want to spread it. He channeled an answer based on service, not on fear. Wow.
Okay.
But the punchline is what seals it. Roger thought he was masked, unseen, just worried about the clock. But he gets an email later from the person who approached him.
Yeah.
It said, "I approached you because I could sense your warm and uplifting personality when you signed in for your vaccine.
Oh, that's goodable.
Others always know who you are, even when you don't. It's just powerful proof that your inner state, your true essence, it's visible no matter what."
Regardless of your anxiety or what you're trying to project, the synthesis here from 2016 is just so clear. Embracing change, even when it's uncomfortable, always leads to wisdom and knowledge.
It helps you know what you truly desire.
And once you stop resisting and just accept who you are, nothing will stop you.
So to bring this all full circle, these messages are framed as the philosophy for the new world, basically operating instructions for your life.
Right.
How does this philosophy really connect to the bigger picture, to the broader history of human transformative thought?
It's so important to see this not as some isolated dogma, but as part of a long, long continuum. The source material actually contrasts Wilhelm's teachings with a whole list of historical figures, but we can just look at the thematic connections to see the lineage.
Let's start with the ancient roots. I mean, you can see the Socratic method right away.
Know thyself.
Exactly. It's all about self-inquiry, which mirrors Wilhelm's whole point about internal friction. If you really look within, you have to face the fact that you're the one restricting your own power.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And look at Buddha's teachings. The focus on releasing attachment to suffering by being in the present moment, that is a direct line to mastering the now and dismantling the tyranny of the clock.
Then you move into modern thought, and you see the groundwork for self-overcoming. I mean, Nietzsche's will to power sounds aggressive.
But at its core, it's about self-overcoming. It's about deliberately setting higher standards for yourself, which is a perfect match for that 2014 message on true courage.
And in the realm of self-realization, the parallels are even more explicit, more modern.
Yeah, you have people like Neville Goddard insisting that your imagination is the creative force.
Or Eckhart Tolle and the power of now.
Right. These concepts directly affirm Wilhelm's core mandate. You are always creating. The job is just to capture the vision and then do it consciously.
So Wilhelm and Roger's contribution here is this really clear, distilled mandate for radical self-acceptance.
And to encourage you, the listener, to contribute directly to this collective ascension, especially during what the 2023 message calls a time of major planetary restructuring.
It confirms that no matter what you believe, no matter what doubts you have, your essence is an essential, necessary portion of all of creation.
You are wanted. You are inherently worthy.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener listening right now? Wilhelm said back in 2008, the journey is meant to be fun.
It is. The core task is simply conscious creation from a place of recognized innate power.
And that ties right into our final thought on worth from 2022.
Humans equate worth with money because it's a system we made it up. But you cannot allow yourself to fully receive everything the universe has for you. All that expansion, all that creation.
Until you recognize your inherent innate worth and value, completely separate from any external thing.
Exactly.
So that's the high leverage question we want to leave you with today. If you can truly accept that everything that has ever happened in your life was there to help you, including the really bumpy, uncomfortable parts, what single challenging event can you look back on right now and truly thank for leading you to new wisdom and your greatest expansion?
Think about the power you can reclaim just by shifting that one perspective.
We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.